All right, what's going on, good kind of people? Checking out a new Wrestling with the Topics for Tuesday night of August 16th, 2022. Lee and Tammy Sanders here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this Tuesday night. I have mostly been taking it easy today because, I'm enjoying this little bit of time off I have before I go into the flood again with classes starting up in about a week and a half. And luckily this week I've had a little bit of flexibility in my schedule. So I've been enjoying being off work from a few different places these past couple of days, especially a nice break from the shows. But I did spend a decent amount of time late last night, half of today, writing up my overall review of the series finale of Better Call Saul, which went down last night. And in a new update, you talk about a shitload of people that came out and represented and checked out the series finale, hun. 1.8 million came out in full effect to check out Monday night's series finale of Better Call Saul.
Nice.
It was the series' third highest rating. I'm trying to think when was the previous time, but I believe I read something along the lines of they had hit 1.885 million. That was like the previous number. But for the series as a whole, this was their third time having such a breakout fucking hit. And when you hear that, you just go, well, you know what? Fucking A. That's what's up. That's what's up. You just, it just puts a really good smile on your face to hear that, because in this day and age that we're in right now, everybody is flocking to the apps. And as a result of flocking to the apps, it's a little bit harder to try to get a hold of those analytics to figure out if that TV show or that movie was truly a success versus, okay, how many people are taking advantage of some type of a fucking free trial to be able to watch this, or how many people are currently in some type of a trial to watch this, but or a paying membership to watch this, I should say, but they're getting ready to let it expire once they're done watching XYZ. To the point there were actually quite a few people I had saw that said, okay, well, now that Better Call Saul is over, I no longer need my AMC Plus subscription. So, bye, right? Yeah, some people were operating like that, and I'm going, okay.
They'll probably be back in 2023.
They could be, depending. They could be.
Depends.
And for those of you that's kind of wondering what Tams means by that, for those of you that didn't watch Better Call Saul finale, basically AMC had revealed not once but twice during the finale that Bob Odenkirk and Giancarlo Esposito, they were going to be coming back to AMC next year. They're going to be starring in their own new respected series. Nothing to do with the Breaking Bad universe. They're going to be two completely new different characters, new series. We don't know anything about them right now as far as the synopsis and all that goes. But I had it was great watching the series finale. I had tons of fun. I see that somebody is following me on Twitter. I bet you this is a porn actress. $10 says it's a fake me out spam porn actress account. Let's see. Oh no! All right, hey, all right. No, the one time it's good to be wrong. No, how about that? 411 Wrestling. Took you guys long enough. I've only been working for y'all for over a year. They fucking followed me back finally. So that's actually good. I like that. That's good.
Well, good.
Yeah. I follow the main one, the 411 Mania. And every time I'm putting new articles out, it's very seldom I'll get the 411 Mania handle that'll retweet. But yeah, that's the first time that the 411 Wrestling is actually, show your brother some love, man. Twitter at the RCWR show. But no, it was cool doing the post show last night. And yeah, if you guys were wondering, I was busy last night doing the Better Call Saul post show. So, I spent like about an hour plus, like an hour, 10 minutes. Just give an overall recap, analysis, all that. I took a detour from the usual show that you guys are used to me doing on Monday nights. I just felt like a really nice change of pace. I felt like really jumping out there, representing, and showing my love for the Better Call Saul series. And Wednesday, me and Julian Cannon of the Nocturnal and the Wrestling Court, he's going to be joining me. So the way we're doing this, I thought we were going to do this live, but me and Julian were talking about it, and he's like, you know what? Let's try to do something with Zoom. I'm like, okay. So we're going to be pre-recording something for Zoom, and then we're going to, or at least I'm going to edit it in post-production. And then I'm just going to upload it as soon as humanly possible. So you guys will be able to check out my conversation with him on Better Call Saul, its impact on TV, cinema, and all that. But, I want to hear from you now, because you read and heard my article for the website.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an idea, a great idea, where I stand on the finale.
Mm-hmm.
I know pretty much when we were done watching the finale, you had such a short turnaround with work and all that you pretty much called it a night afterwards. But the floor is now yours, my dear. What say you on the Better Call Saul series finale? Take it as far as you would like to go. I want to know what you thought about it.
Well, I really think it started out very different. Very hard-hitting, very fast. In the very beginning, 20, 30 minutes. Not what I expected to happen right off the bat. In reference to the finale, I thought it was very strong. Very well written. Very, very well written. In reference to... you go into, okay, well, maybe not Saul, but Jimmy does have a conscience, a soul, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was something that could get through to him. So I did not expect, as I told Lee last night, I did not expect it to go that way. Didn't. Really, I didn't. I was right on some of it, but I didn't expect the couple of twists that they took.
Such as
basically him perjuring himself. I didn't expect that. Really, I didn't. The funny thing is, I've always I guess of my favorite characters, I've always liked Jimmy the best. Just because for me, he was more down to earth, real of a character with Jimmy. Saul was your shyster lawyer that would basically do anything for a buck. Gene was just, I'm just doing this because, I got caught and this is my only way.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, on a funny note, I will have to say I found it kind of amusing on the work ethic part that he used his first phone call to call his job and basically say, can you do this, and, oh yeah, by the way, can you call corporate and you're going to need a new manager.
Yeah.
I was just like, I mean,
how considerate.
How considerate of him. Most people would be calling their lawyer, family members. Take your pick. But boy, the loyalty there, my goodness. But no, I thought that was a little fun thing. But I really liked the addition of Carol Burnett. That was a good little twist. And almost, just a smidgen of me was wondering, hey, how did she get her son out of that mess that Gene created? It's kind of like, well, But it was nice to see some of the flashbacks as well. and really taking you really internally into the mind of at least two of them. Not so much Jean, maybe a little bit, but really all three of them and how they work and how they tick.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I did not even consider. That's a good take. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But really, they made that last, not only about that, but there's so much rolled up into one episode that you could take away from it. But the other thing that you really took away from it is the love story between him and Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only person who could truly get through to him.
Knows the real him.
Knows the real him,
Yeah.
could get through to him and basically saying, okay, let me drop the facade, let me drop the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this because I did this.
Right.
Okay, let me man up. She did, so damn. Well, I guess I ought to do what's right by her.
Now let me ask you something, because I saw a little bit of conflict among fans. Some felt that Jimmy looked at what Kim did as an act of betrayal, but by going to Howard's widow, doing the whole affidavit and everything, I didn't look at it that way, because you got to go back to the Waterworks episode, the episode prior to the series finale, and he didn't necessarily egg her on, but at the same time, he did say to her in that very intense phone call, look, you want to talk about, you want to be all high and mighty on your horse. Hey, let's not forget, you got your hands dirty as well. And if you're that fucking eaten up by it, go set your conscience free. Go spill your fucking guts out. And
she did
Kim
just that.
pretty much was like, well, you know what? That's really not a bad idea. You know what? I didn't interpret it as Kim betraying Jimmy. I looked at it more as Kim going, okay, you know what? I was part of some real fucked up shit. Everything was all fun and games at first, but now people's lives, their livelihood, has started being affected. Hell, somebody lost their life. And that really had made her just... And it was interesting because when I really think about it deep in retrospect now, you could almost make an argument that after the events of what had went down with Howard Hamlin, that she punished herself and sentenced herself internally by not practicing law. But then as we saw in those final few minutes, she had that will. She tapped back into that Kim that we had come to know and love, always trying to help out that little person and everything. So I didn't see...
But also...
But let me finish train of thought. I didn't see it as Kim betraying Jimmy. I just saw it as her unloading...
baggage.
A serious baggage. And once Jimmy found out, I didn't look at him as, okay, he's going to try to be vindictive. I looked at it more as Jimmy totally understanding, because they both know each other very well. I looked at it more as, okay, now Jimmy knows what, and obviously by Kim, I think that really set off the light bulb in his head. Wow, she's really been fucked up by this. And that finally made him really tap within and retrieve that soul of his that's been
buried
for so long.
Yeah, agreed. Well, the other thing that is really we both found very interesting but yet poignant with Kim and this new life that she made for herself. She did a 180, if you would say, in reference to old life, new life. And to be honest with you, that shit was boring as fuck. And I think she got to the point where it's kind of like, okay. In reference to maybe even, like you were saying, some self-punishment there. But she was like, okay, I think she really got to the point where she missed it. She missed being around it. She missed what she did. She was damn good at it. So, that part actually made me smile in reference to, it doesn't have to always be doom and gloom, kind of, so to speak. Do what makes you happy. If you can, obviously, do what makes you happy. And she started to do that, whether it was volunteer work or not. Either way, do what makes you happy. And she did. And she started to get back to the old Kim, because the one that moved to Florida was dry and just maybe even low confidence, or maybe it was just low profile. Could have been low profile. But I think she got tired of carrying that burden. And most people in those situations that I've heard, they get damn tired of carrying that burden. And eventually, whether they confide in someone, or they let something slip, or maybe they let it slip on purpose, and then basically cat's out the bag, then it all snowballs from there.
It's interesting when you think about it, because, you're reminded of that whole, hey, if you don't like the path you're on, you can always change it. That was kind of like the main theme that was happening throughout the episode, up against if you could change something from your past, what would you change and all that. I was kind of reminded, and you know what? It would have been a poignant song to use during that episode, but I'm reminded of a particular lyric from Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, which is, yes, there are two paths you could go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. And we eventually saw that happen with Kim when you really stop and think about it. The path that she was on with that whole Florida journey, she eventually, okay, you know what? I don't like this path anymore. And we saw her beginning to come back to her old self there. And, it's a nice, pretty little bookend to the series, because it ends in such a way where you're left to your own imagination. Just in your own head, what could have,
you could truly make up your own ending, or not ending per se, but your own conclusions on what happens after that,
right?
And to your point with that song, actually, that was with Jimmy as well.
Yes, Saul. In his own way. Yep.
In his own way. Yep. But it was nice to truly see, the prominent characters that you see in the last episode that were instrumental in changing his life, whether it be for the better or for the worst.
Correct.
And what would you change about your life if you could go back? You kind of wish that he would have said a little bit more than he did, but with him, he was just never that person to wear his heart on his sleeve.
At least
Until the end.
And if it's with Kim, he always truly how he felt, his guard.
Yes. He was truly Jimmy with her.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Even when they were doing fucked up shit, he was still
Jimmy. I was telling folks on the Monday post show, I was saying, when you look at a series like this, now we're just looking at the bigger picture, folks, because we're now second away from Better Call Saul, but it just kind of had me go through the analytics of time as far as TV shows. And you're just thinking about, okay, these great hit TV shows that somehow launched spin-offs, but not all spin-offs were successful. And just some of the examples that had came into mind, I'm going, okay, well, everybody remembers Sanford and Son. And then when Red Fox was done with that, he spent 3 years doing some other stuff that did not equal the level of success that he had
Sanford
with
Arms,
Sanford
I
and
think.
Son. It was just Sanford. He
Yes.
did Sanford. That only
that
lasted
didn't-
2 seasons.
Didn't do much.
You had the Grady Show, right? There was a Sanford and Arms show, from what I remember. That did not. That didn't even make it a full season. Three's Company 2.
Yeah.
Sure, you had Ritter, but it
wasn't the same.
right.
It wasn't the same.
What's happening? What's happening now? Right.
Same.
What's another one? When you think about
All in the Family versus Archie Bunker's Place.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yes. Especially, look, well, we all could be in agreement because we talked about this before. We all could be in agreement. Once Murray left,
Oh, it was some shit.
that was pretty much the end of the fucking show.
It was some shit.
That was pretty much the end of the show.
It was okay. I mean, it was watchable.
Right.
But really, you watched it because you liked all the characters at that point.
Right.
Not really because it was that great.
Right. But then you think about successful, right? You go, okay, well,
go back to All in the Family. All in the Family, spinning off the Jeffersons.
correct. Cheers spinning off Frasier. Right? Nope, nobody predicted that coming.
No.
Nobody. I
No,
still remember
that's
when
true.
everybody first heard about Frasier. Everybody was kind of, but then when it finally launched, people were behind it, right?
Yeah.
And it lasted, what, like 11 seasons or some shit?
Matter of fact, they're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, the script is already in the books. Kelsey Grammer had confirmed that he read it, he liked it. I think they're supposed to begin filming late this year or first quarter of next year.
Okay.
So yeah, whether we like it or not,
It's coming back.
it's definitely coming back. Yeah, I won't say unfortunately, but it's kind
We
of
shall see.
we shall see. Friends had spinned off Joey, but Joey failed miserably.
Yeah, that was terrible.
You had David Schwimmer pop up on there. Who else popped up on there? Didn't the drunk dude pop up on there too? I hate
Perry?
to refer. Yeah,
Matthew Perry?
yeah, I hate to refer to him as the drunk, but I know that was kind of fucked up, but that's how I remember him. Unfortunately,
they did pop up, but it still wasn't. It did not capture the level of what Friends was.
nah. So to the point, it's been very rare that you have seen successful spin-offs from a hit series.
Didn't they do Laren Cat? No, that was later down the. I was gonna think, didn't they do some kind of form spinoff from Night Court?
No, with the Dan Felding character.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. John Larroquette, the actor himself, he did ultimately get his own show, but it had
But
nothing
that
to
was
do
many
with the
years later
Dan
as well.
Felding character. No.
But
But to the point, like the list of successful
it's very
spin-offs
short.
off of it's extremely, extremely short. And, hopefully when time progresses, people that have slept on this series, hopefully they'll come back to it and show it some fucking love and all that.
Well, actually, what I would say to the show's creator and writers is kudos to you in reference to bringing out a product that was just a semi-idea of an offsetting of a show that you already had and making it individually its own.
Right.
And doing such a good job at it. Whether it be with the characters that you intertwined with that character or just the general idea of the show itself.
Right.
Because ultimately that's really what makes the show. The actors, the writers, and the producers and the that put the package together. So, just kudos to them.
Yeah.
Kudos to them for really, really, really putting out a great product. And, of course, like I said, the actors to carry out.
and we're going on and on and on
I
about
just wanted
this.
to
No. We're not being long-winded with it because I'm looking at the timer and everything, so we're essentially good. But it just kind of breaks my heart sometimes because, I see that the majority of the folks that tune into the shows, they're into the wrestling, right? And sadly, you got those that be complaining about, oh man, this show sucks tonight. Oh man, I'd like to watch anything else other than this shit. This is hot fucking garbage and all this. Or they just want an alternative. It's like, okay, well, if you want to take a nice little break, again, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. There's two paths that you can, right? You can choose. You do have options, right? You don't have to always stay glued to the TV set from 8 to 11 o'clock, watching something that, is probably gonna not be good, right? There's many reasons to be excited these days about the direction in WWE and all that, everything that's going on, but still to the point, if you want to just, hey, you know what? I could just use a friendly break. Let me check out something else. Let me plug into something else and see what else is out there. I really hope that people that were sleeping on this series ultimately come back, especially if they were Breaking Bad fans. Hopefully they'll now come back and they'll, definitely show its respected love and everything.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Over the weekend, this was kind of fun. So over the weekend, we've been dealing with ants. And the ants have it's really weird because you're in the kitchen, and we keep our common areas nice and organized, nice and clean and everything, right? So very seldom we eat upstairs. If anything, we're guilty of having a glass of water. Maybe we have a bottle of soda, that's tagging along with us, but the cap is always on and everything. So we've been dealing with these irritating little small ants. I don't know what kind of ants they are, but I tell you what, you put water on them bitches and they're dead. I mean, that they are like some level 1 weak fucking ants, right? Which is funny because the ants that I used to deal with in California, oh my God, you could fucking dump them in water. You could put them in the freezer. You could try to take a lighter to them. These motherfuckers were kicking. And when they would bite you, man, you would go, ah! I mean, it was, I'm not exaggerating.
Sounds like fire ants.
No, it wasn't like, you could literally feel them puncturing your skin when they would bite you. Yeah.
Only time I've ever felt it that way was when it was a fire ant.
If they're called fire ants, hey, cool. But no, you would feel them biting and tearing away at your skin. And it was just, because you would automatically look to see where, as soon as they would bite you, you would look in the spot where you were feeling it, and there the motherfucker was. And then at times when you would try to pull them from wherever it was that they were biting you, it was a bitch to pull them off because they had such a grip on your skin that you would have to press down on them as they're on your skin, and then you'd have to kind of take them in between your fingers and kind of roll them up a little bit, almost like you're doing a custom cigarette or whatever, and that's how you were able to kind of loosen them off. You'd be able to pull this off within seconds, and then you'd see the motherfucker, and the motherfucker would still be in your fucking fingertips there, still alive, squirming, and then you would pretty much just have to throw that damn son of a bitch. It was a bitch to kill them. It was very difficult to kill those fucking ants. These ants that we're dealing with, like I said, they are some level 1 fucking shit. They put water on them, they're fucking dead, basically. So, it was bad because I had this nice old drawer that I had been sitting on for years. It was a gift bestowed upon me, and it was made out of wood. Wood started rotting very bad. And right down to the point, it looked as though the ants were making a home within that rotten wood. So I had no choice but to empty out. Luckily, it was just 2 drawer levels. Empty it out, and then put it in the tub, rinse it down and everything. Get the little critters down the drain and all that. Put that out. Say to Tams, hey, hun, can we maybe, I don't know, go to the store and see if we can pick up a new drawer or something? And, so we're going back and forth trying to figure out, okay, what exactly are we going to pick up here? So we go to one store, and they kind of don't have
They don't
what
have
we're looking
nothing.
for. Yeah, which is really weird considering
They
because,
usually do.
well, not just that, but also in addition, it's that time of the year. They're
Yes,
going
they're
back, right? You got the old dad with the fucking staples. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yep, that
They're
one.
going back, and there's those two poor little fucking the brother and the sister just standing there with the fucking blankless stare on their face as dad is just on that fucking shop cart and he's just blazing through the fucking aisles. I'd love to see all of those cats all these years later. I've been wanting for years to see an updated version of that commercial with all three of them, right? Just to fucking, I would just get a kick out of that, right? Or
At this point, you would see those kids and their kids and grandpa, I guess.
I guess he's now a grandpa, right? Right.
Just tagging along.
Yeah, and then maybe he could say something like at the very end of the commercial, now you know how I felt, right? Maybe he could say something like that.
Right.
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 Shit like
Once
that.
he gets to the counter.
Yeah, once you get to the counter,
Pay,
yeah, that'd be badass. But then, so like the first store didn't have what we were looking for, so we go to the second store. Second store we go to a Target. Okay, they got what we're looking for. We're like, okay, bet, nice, right? By the way, I'm very curious for you guys that's listening, be it live, on demand, or soon on the downloads. I'm curious what is going on with your local Target store. Are they? Does your local Target store still have a Starbucks and/or a Pizza Hut? I would like to know. I'm very curious, legit, because in our area, in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, some of the Targets have been removing the Pizza Huts.
And their
Their Target,
in store eatery,
yeah, in favor of
a bigger Starbucks.
yeah. To the point, the first store that we had visited, which was a Target, they did away with the Pizza Hut and the little Target concession eatery.
Mm-hmm.
And walls now completely blocked off, all of that shit. And you're going, damn.
Yeah.
Well, like, oh, okay, well, so much for that. But, truth be told, they weren't really making anything anyway. Like, every fucking time you fucking went up there, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm going to go on ahead and I think I'm going to have a grilled cheese sandwich. Hey, how you doing? Hey, can I get a grilled cheese sandwich? We don't have. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me get a hot dog. We don't have. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like you got corn dogs. Don't have that either. Okay, well, how about the pretzel? Surely you got a pretzel. We don't have that either. Okay, well, what do you have? Well, we got this right here. And they pretty much would just point you in the direction of the damn Pizza Hut.
Yeah, that they pre-made.
Right. The Pizza Hut chicken Alfredo.
Or just a personal pizzas.
Little personal pizza. And then half the damn time, they wouldn't even have that. And then when they would have to go back and make that shit, they would be upset. You'd get little shitty fucking attitudes and all that.
Groans and grunts.
Yeah, grunts. Look at you kind of cockeyed and all that other shit.
And Lord help you if you actually got a hello.
Yeah, shit.
Hello. Can I help you?
Yeah.
How you doing? Any of that.
Any of
Nope, you don't
any
get
of that
that.
shit. So to hear that they're being done with some of these Targets, you know what? As far as the little concession food area goes, it actually puts a smile on my fucking face. I'm happy to hear that because it's like, hey, good. I ain't like the service I was getting anyway. Which reminds me, it goes back to what we've been saying on this show time and time again. If you don't fucking like what you're doing, well, you can always, nobody has a gun to your head and is forcing you to. Perfect example. I know I'm kind of segueing a little bit, but stay with me here because it's related to the topic at hand. So I, at times, go down this weird YouTube rabbit hole. I'm looking up one thing and then it just somehow bleeds into another, I come across this video. Don't ask me how, but I come across this video of this black dude. How I missed it when it initially went viral, I don't know, but it is what it is. So you got this black dude, Subway employee, and this motherfucker, yo, what's going on, man? This your man Meek, and I'm over here at the Subway and everything, and man, I ain't doing this video for y'all to try to chase some type of clout. You hear what I'm saying? I ain't trying to chase no clout, but I'm just letting y'all know what the real deal is. And I'm about to be 30 years old, and I can't keep doing this stupid shit that I'm doing right now. You feel me? Right? I'm 30 years old, and I'm trying to do my thing and be a rapper, man. I'm trying to do my thing. Y'all seeing my music videos, y'all know I got the skills and shit, you heard me? So, like, what I'm about to do right now, you feel me? I'm about to say fuck it to this damn Subway job. Yo, come on down here. Yo, you want a foot-long sandwich? And then the motherfucker just starts putting the condiments, all the bread on the floor. He starts putting the meats on the floor. And then he gets down on the floor and he's swiping it all up, mixing it all up together and shit, putting it in the sandwich. He's like, yeah, y'all want a Subway sandwich? Yeah, come holler at your boy. It gets worse. Then he individually takes slices of meat and very delicately is laying these bitches in a nice row, in a circle, on the toilet seat rim. Okay? Yes. He's taking mayo and all it. I mean, he is just going full blown and he's saying he's not doing this to chase clout or anything like that.
Bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yet during this whole video, yeah, y'all at me on Instagram, at me on Twitter, but my man, I thought you said you weren't chasing clout. Like, come on, right? And then it gets funnier. This motherfucker, okay? This motherfucker had did some jail time, okay? So you already know, you do jail time, it's gonna be hard for you to get a hold of a 9-to-5 gig. To the point,
yeah,
he did like a series of videos chronicling how, okay, yeah, I'm out of prison, man, I'm having such a hard time finding a job. I'm trying to do my best to, bring in some type of income because, I'm trying to be responsible here, while also juggling my rap career, which, by the way, his rap career, total fucking shit, okay? I mean,
well, it definitely would.
He makes P. Diddy look like fucking Jay-Z. Okay? That's, right? Yeah, everybody know when it comes to P. Diddy, P. Diddy's just, yeah, bad boys. Yeah, P. Diddy. Yeah, watch out now. Right? I mean, that's pretty much P. Diddy and all the fucking... He made him look like Jay-Z. Okay? Dude's rapping is... Oh, it was garbage. I've heard some bad fucking rappers in my time. I've heard people that, you know what? You got a little bit of potential, right? Maybe cut it down on the curse words. Don't rely so much on the auto-tune shit. You got potential, and okay, you're relying too much on the fucking beats to carry you. Focus more on your shit. Your lyrics is powerful. You don't need to get so drowned out in the beats, man. Just focus on your lyrics. And then I've heard people that's just, yeah, you know what? Your beats are shit. Your lyrics are shit. Your flow is shit. He checked off all three of the latter. Okay. He checked off all
basically
three of the
you some shit.
He's some straight up shit. Right? All right. So you say you need this job, okay? And you're like, oh, I hope I get this job with Subway because I'm not, because man, I really need this job. It's hard out here for convicted felons. So I really hope that they don't do the background check. He gets the job. Nigga don't even make it 3 months. And he's doing this video where he's just, and it's like, dude, nobody told you had to do all that. Just go on ahead and fucking
say peace out.
Just peace out.
That's it.
Bake the fucking bread for the night, all that other fucking shit, whatever you got to do. Call corporate. Yo, man, this going to be your problem from here on out. Sorry, but I'm out. You know, come get your keys. I'm done, right? And then that's it, plain and simple. Okay. So obviously you knew what this guy was what he was really all about and everything. And of course, Subway. You know, hey, we saw what happened, and it's funny because Subway. It was stupid how they basically said, "Oh yeah, we fired him." It wasn't the fact that my man had put lunch meat and shit all on the fucking
Floor and toilet.
floor and toilet. No, 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 no. That's not what fucking did him in. Okay? What fucking did him in by Subway standards is the fact that I'm trying to make sure I understand it right because it was fucking hilarious when I had heard about this. Apparently, where Subway said, "God damn it, that's just wrong. You're fired," was the fact that I believe he didn't follow proper protocol to basically
What,
tell
placing him
them.
on the toilet?
I wish. I wish. Apparently, he didn't.
He didn't follow proper protocol on the way he placed it on the toilet and the floor. Maybe he should have put it in a semicircle and not a whole circle.
They let him go because he didn't, or fired him because he didn't follow the correct procedure in letting management know that he was done with his employment.
They should have made his ass pay for the
Right.
shit he used.
You're right. I mean, they should have definitely got in contact with the police, charged his dumb ass with vandalism and vandalizing store property and all of that. I mean, these guys could have easily set an example and essentially, hey, dude, you're in violation of your fucking parole and all
Yeah,
that.
bye.
Bye. Right, but they didn't. Right, so
Yeah.
that was just. But to the
What
point,
the fuck on their part?
it was.
Yeah.
But to the point I was making earlier, it's like, if you don't like what you're fucking doing, okay, well,
Just leave.
you don't need to broadcast it, my dude. You don't need to broadcast it. Just do you.
Yeah.
Just fucking do you.
Just leave.
It's
That's
weird.
really all
It's
you need to do.
weird. This day and age that we're in. I don't know if you're seeing it on Facebook because I know you spend a lot more time on Facebook. It's weird. You spend more time on Facebook. I spend less time on Facebook because all the shit that's normally posted on the Facebook page is automatically generated. If I do post a little something, it'll be on my personal page, but that's once in a blue moon. I'm pretty much on Twitter, mainly reading shit and going on Bing, reading official Associated Press news, things like that. But I don't know if you're seeing it on Facebook, but I know on Twitter I'm seeing people that are just broadcasting whatever issues they're having with their employer, and I'm going, I get it. It's a nice gateway, if you will, to express XYZ, but you don't need to let the entire world know what you're thinking, what your moves are potentially going to be, especially if those people of that same company who are in upper management have social media as well, and then they're able to, because some of them will do that. Some of them will do that.
Some people that I have known have actually gotten fired for what they posted on their Facebook page. So yeah, you really got to be careful. I mean, a lot of people lately use Facebook mainly as a bitching session. Of, hey, woe is me, life is fucked, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have heard stories where people posting stupid shit, saying stupid shit, somebody got wind of it, wrong hands, and that person is out of a job.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's like, why? I look at social media and see, this is the best analogy, most simplistic analogy I can give to people, especially those that are inexperienced with social media and those that are young when it comes to using social media, young-minded when it comes to using social media. This is the analogy that I have. Look at social media as nothing more than a game of poker, okay? Or a game of, think of whatever favorite card game you like to play. But in my case, I'm looking at it as poker. I use poker because, a lot of times you're trying to figure out, okay, does this person really have a royal flush, or are they bluffing, Because that's how I look at social media. When you lay out all your fucking cards for the entire world to see, that can easily, very easily come back and bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And, you should be pretty well guarded. You shouldn't put every single fucking thing out there. Like some of the people that I happen to be following on Twitter, for example, I love some of the people that I follow. I do. I sincerely love some of the people that I follow. They mean very well. Their heart is in the right place. They do a great job interacting with a vast majority of their fan base. Lord knows, anytime I am interacting with some of them because of their posts, and I'll hey, how'd you like it? Was it good? And they'll respond back, yeah, it was actually pretty good. Da 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 da. But Jesus Christ, some of the stuff that I'm seeing being put out there, I'm going, okay, look, look, if you got attention deficit disorder, ADD, if you got something, okay, I get that. I respect it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to explain it to me. I get it. Okay, you're an attention seeker. You're just trying to play up to your persona and make sure you're continuing to play that social media game. Okay, I get that. But you can tell those who are legit, okay, they are like literally utilizing this as just an open diary.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong way to go about social media because
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately there are sick-minded individuals out there that will, use that information, and
Mm-hmm.
it can come off stalkerish,
Yep.
if you will.
Yep.
It's sad, but that's the day and age that we're in. Some of these people that I see, but the way I silence myself, I say these are grown ass men and women.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's how they want to roll. That's how they're gonna roll. But I just look at some of these people and I just go, I'll give you one example. I'll give you one example. There's a if I say her profession, people may be able to figure it out. So I won't say what profession she's in. But what I will say, anytime she posts his pictures from a photo shoot that she's doing or whatever, it's banging good. It's banging good. But a lot of times she'll be posting stuff 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Only reason why I know about this is because at times I'm mixing down audio for the shows, doing voiceovers. In between shit's mixing,
Mm-hmm.
processing, I'm on social media seeing what's going on, reading up on shit. And I'll see her just mention the weirdest little fucking thing. She'll mention how she had sex with her man, and like, okay, we don't need to know all that. She'll mention how she can't sleep and she's got, to get up in the next 3 hours, and how, you know, it's like we don't need an idea of your sleeping pattern. We don't need to, right? It's like just ease off, just pump the brakes a little bit, right? Just weird. It's just weird how I see some people play the social media game. It really is. But to each its own. I always say, but you have to be very careful in this day and age, especially after all the shit I had learned in one of my classes about
Mm-hmm.
how weirdos. Maybe I'll share it on the sites one day. But I did this paper not long ago on how human traffickers utilize social media to their advantage
Mm-hmm.
to recruit individuals. I mean, be it children for hard labor, sex labor, women, boys, young men are even recruited as well. For men, it's not just work labor, it's also sex labor as well, believe it or not. So it's you got to be very protective about how much information you're putting out there about yourself and
Mm-hmm.
everything is my whole point. But I looked at that Subway dude and I just couldn't help but laugh my ass off and go, dude, you ain't got to broadcast it. If you don't like what you're doing, just fucking. So back to the whole Target thing. It's like, you say to me, oh, Target is removing their little Pizza Hut, little Target concession areas. I say, good. The service was shit anyway because the people weren't fucking. At least the motherfuckers at Starbucks that's inside the Target, at least they come off like they kind of give a damn. At least
Agreed.
At least they come off more friendlier than the.
Agreed.
And,
Every time I've ever went to the Starbucks portion of it, it's been the customer service has always been better.
Mm-hmm. So we're at Target. We get these nice drawers. I'll take a picture and I'll share it with you guys later this week. So we get like two of these nice black hard plastic drawers. It's like, okay, pretty durable. Can easily just pick up and move. Easy to wash down. You don't have to worry about wood rotting and all that. So we get our shit. We keep browsing, seeing what else is there. I come across, yeah. Tell me if this hasn't happened to you guys. I come across their vinyl section, right? I love collecting vinyl. I think longtime listeners, they know this. I love collecting vinyl. I've got so many vinyl albums right now. Right now, I'm trying hard. You guys have no idea. I've been trying hard to launch my new series, and it's titled, get this, Vinyl Lee Baby, right? Vinyl Me Baby. I'm going, well, Vinyl Lee Baby. I mean, so obviously you know what we're talking about, right? In a nutshell. So, like, the way I'm picturing the series, I'm taking, like, a classic album or a new album, and we're listening to it. We're listening to the vinyl version. And maybe I'm going down, memory lane on, some fun stories or whatever, fun experiences with that album when I initially bought it growing up, some shit like that. But I'm mainly picturing it as a throwback type of show. Okay? My challenge has been finding an artist to come up with the graphics for the joint. Now, there was a really, really good friend of mine from years back. I don't know if this nigga is still alive or what. There used to be a really cool artist by the name of Andy Rocketeer. Andy Rocketeer, he had did our vintage blue and white RCWR logo. If you guys, depends on how long you've been listening, but if you've been listening anywhere from, I would say, 2013, 2014-ish, right on up until about maybe 2017-ish, then you all are familiar with the blue and white logo that I'm talking about. So he's done a couple of versions of that logo. He also did the logo that you guys can see right now for Wrestling with the Topics. He did that as well. My slow jamming specials, the cover art for that, he did the designs for that. Love this dude, okay? And anytime I would get a chance to work with him, share with him my ideas, and I would always highly recommend the guy on the shows, but I would always say, hey, look, don't be expecting no freebies now. Like with Andy, you got to pay him, reasonable rates, but he ain't doing it for free now, But I would always do my best to try to send business his way and everything. I have not heard from Andy in, I think, now 6 years. I don't know if this guy is still alive or what. I know one of the last couple of times I had talked to him, he was, it seemed like he was getting ready to pull a Chris Farley and go live in a van down by the river. That's just the vibe he fucking gave me because he told me flat out, I'm like, dude, how you been? Like, I've tried reaching out to you on Facebook, and he's like, yeah, I'm not a social media person. I'm not really, I see the way social media is on folks, and I'm really not that keen on social media. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what about emailing? So would you say emailing is? And he's like, yeah, I'm not really a email person. I'm thinking, well, Jesus, dude, you're an artist, right? I'm thinking this to myself. I'm going, you're an artist, right? I mean, if you're an artist, then surely you're at least thinking as far as building up your portfolio, establishing contacts, networking. Okay, I get the social media, but the emailing, like that there's really no harm right there, right? He just really kind of came off to me as the type of person that really was just more interested in just disengaging from all things technology and just sticking with the basic essentials.
Hmm.
You know, so
Right.
I would not be surprised if you were to tell me Andy is pushing a hardwired phone.
Uh-huh.
I would not be surprised if you were to tell me that, because he just seems like the type of person. Yeah, cell phones. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't do cell phones. You got an Xbox game console, or yeah, I don't do video game consoles. It's like, really? Like, yeah, he just comes off that way. But
Mm-hmm.
for the longest time, I was trying to get him to come up with the design for it and everything. And I've looked at a couple of artists here and there, and it's kind of like nobody has jumped out to me in a way where, okay, how I'm picturing it. And that was the thing, like working with a guy like Andy, I mean, 100% accuracy, how I was picturing it. I could sit down and I could come up easily, since I know how to draw, I could easily do the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy was that type of guy. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. And a couple days later, try this, dude. Like, fuck yes, yes, like yes. You know, I haven't been that fucking about an artist that I 100% feel yes they can.
Yeah.
So that's kind of held the series up, you know. But we're in that owl. We're in that vinyl section, and what do I see? Right in front of my eyes, I see a Eddie Vedder album. Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. I go, oh, what's going on here? And apparently, Eddie Vedder had put out a new solo album titled Earthling. And I'm going, huh? Like, how the fuck did this slip under my fucking radar? Like, I'm looking at the back of it, and you know, I see the copyright is 2022. I'm going, okay, so apparently this just came out. Okay, well, when did it come out? I'm busting out my phone. I'm looking at it, and all right, this album came out February of this year. Like, shit, I'm a few months late. I'm like, okay, but you know what? All right, I definitely want to review it. I look at the price. Son of a bitch says $20. $20 for Eddie Vedder's new album. I go, damn, $20 for a vinyl album? That's pretty fucking good. Okay, bet. Get a couple more things we go to check out. Album scans for $39.99. We go, wait a minute now, wait a minute. So I hit the little thing for customer assistance. I get this guy. And I say, hey, man. I say, what's up? He's like, I was like, hey, so I got this Eddie Vedder album. Back there, I see a sign. It said $20 or maybe 25, but definitely 20 something. Like, I'm being charged $39.99. So he pulls out his little phone and, you know, he's going online, and somehow he's able to see Target's price, Best Buy's price, Kmart's price, all these other motherfuckers' prices. And he's going, yeah, online, I'm showing that it's for $39.99. I say, okay, you know, I respect that. I get that. I was like, but again, this album, which I picked up over there by the vinyls, pretty sure it had an Eddie Vedder name and all of that. It says $20. I say to Tams, babe, you see, you saw the sign, right? Didn't it say $20 or $25? And I said to her, I said to her right in front of the guy, I said, it's okay if you don't remember. And she goes, yeah, I'm sorry, I really can't say. I didn't really look at the price. So I say, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure I saw it for 20 something and not $39.99. Ah, right, yeah, you know, but online it says, and I tell him again, I say, look, I said, I get what you're telling me about online. I'm letting you know, though, I'm going to get this album either way because I want to review it. But you got a sign back there that has that album for 20 something. I happen to be a fan of this guy's music, and I really grabbed this album because of the price point. So I work in retail myself. I was like, I know how it is. I was like, but you may want to tell somebody to go back there and correct the price that's advertised. Otherwise, you're gonna keep getting this. And he goes, okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm really sorry about that. And yeah, I'll let somebody know right now. And I'm thinking to myself, that's what you should have said the first fucking time, because I don't give a flying fuck about what it reads online. Okay, online and what's actually being advertised physically at your fucking store is two completely different beasts.
True. Well, basically, we had our youngest Yorkie with us, and we weren't really trying to go back there and go back and forth with the dude in reference to what it was versus what it read. So really, that's the only reason I didn't become more vocal about it. Because I have went to a store and saw it in saying one thing. And it brings up something else. Perfect example. I went into Macy's. And I really wanted, I wanted the one pair of shoes that I had, which was in a Clark's box. Now, if anybody, long story short, Clark's is a really well-made, expensive shoe. That is really comfortable. Okay, so basically that's the backstory. But I really wanted this other pair of shoes that I was going to get. On the box, I swear to you, it said $19.99. Great. That works for me. So, got those, got up to the counter, had another 1 to 2 pair of shoes with me. I was like, okay. And did them, had them ring them up. And she gets to the other shoes and she said, oh, these are $49. Excuse me? Or 20. It was either 29 or 49. I can't remember now. And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, yeah. I said, well, the box says $19.99. Well, there's a little label. I said, it doesn't matter to me. That's not my problem. $19.99. Oh, okay. Right. Y'all fucked up. Give me my damn shit. So that, but really, it depends on how forceful you are with it.
I also think it depends, let's be honest, in 2022, I think it also depends on what color skin you have. Because, if I really wanted to go there, the fuck you mean? You gonna tell me this bullshit about what's going on online? Motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about what's going on online. I'm telling you what the fuck it rang up back there. I'm telling you what price I saw back there. Now, how about that? How about that, dude? How about that? Oh, so you gonna call the cops on me? And I'm paying for shit? You gonna call the cops on me? Really? Really, my dude? You gonna call the cops on me? I don't give a fuck about them fucking cops. I don't give a fuck. Man, under the price that I saw back there, man. What's going on? Next thing you know, 12 fucking police officers.
You probably still didn't get the price you wanted. So anyway.
Shot. Yeah, can you just imagine that? Black man shot over a Pearl Jam album.
Or arrested.
You're arrested.
Arrested for disturbing the peace.
Some shit.
And
some shit.
Anyway. Now, of course, you don't have to go to that extent. But can you plead your case? Yes. Of course. But at that juncture of the night, it was late. We had Chloe with us. And I wasn't about to get into who, this, what, where, when. No. So we just ended up getting it, so.
So, word to the wise, y'all. Can't believe I'm even saying this. Y'all might want to start making sure that when you pick up something, take a fucking picture. Take a fucking picture. You know, now I'm thinking about that mentally challenged woman that I had at the job.
I still think that was a ruse.
I think it was a ruse too, but you know what, man? Hey, you gotta give her credit. She took a picture. She took a picture.
I agree.
She took a picture, you know, and it's kind of like, hey, you might want to make fun of her all you want. You might want to say, God damn, it took 35 minutes to get that motherfucker out the line and everything. But, you know, hey, she got her prices. She made sure her prices were honored and all of that fucking shit. Now, look, granted, if it's a situation where, you know, look, $2-3, yo, we ain't even talking about this right now. It ain't even a discussion. But goddamn, we talking about a whole fucking $20.
Damn near it. Yep.
You know, damn near it. And it's like, oh, wait a minute now. What the fuck? I bet you. How much you want to bet if we were to go back to that store sometime this week?
Oh, the price would still be the same.
How much you want to bet?
I agree with you.
To the point. If I can find that receipt. That's all I'm saying. Because it's like, man, that's $20. That's $20, man. I'm going to be like that little kid from that Circuit City commercial with the fucking Walkman. Excuse me, sir. Yesterday, I bought this. And today, I saw this. I just looked in the paper, and there it was. And the old man gives him the fucking change difference. That's it. Cool. Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art. You know, I miss that. I miss those days.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
That was one of the commercials that I thought was cute.
I
like that commercial.
That was a fucking commercial, man. I loved it. Little blonde haired kid coming in there, little backpack and fucking I don't know what he had, a Sony Walkman or some shit. He had some type of Walkman on his ass.
I don't remember what the
It
brand
was a cassette player though.
But it was definitely a Walkman.
It was a Walkman cassette player. That much I fucking remember. Fucking hilarious.
I used to, Circuit City used to be my spot. For a little bit of a time. Circuit City used to be my spot for CDs.
Yeah, you know, I had my favorites. Circuit City, because I had like a certain list, and like if it was a case where I had just got paid, then I would do a trifecta in one day. So Circuit City would be my go-to for all things movies. And I remember deep back in the day, I was like just gun-ho on Al Pacino. I had to have anything Al Pacino. And so I would employees at these stores that, you know, they would like dealing with a customer like me because I was so fucking easy. I'd come in there and, you know, hey, how can I help you? Like, yeah, I want to know, and this would be me during a typical, you know, I want to know what all Al Pacino movies you have in stock. They were like, all Al Pacino? Like, yeah, all Al Pacino movies, yeah. Like, okay, so they go to the fucking little back computer, you know, and they type it in and everything. You know, yeah, that's what I'm calling that bitch. I call that bitch the back computer. They go to the fucking back computer, and they're fucking typing everything like, okay, well, according to this, says I have, 20 titles in stock. Like, okay, great. So, like, you want all these Al Pacino movies? It's like, yeah, like, whatever you got. Now, obviously, you know, once it would be a case where, okay, I've got this, you know, because the way I was doing it back then, I was trying to complete my Al Pacino collection. So that's why I would just walk into a joint, hey, what do you got in stock? And then they would pretty much tell me, and then from there I would just go
Process of
right.
elimination.
From there I would just go, okay, all right, I want that. Whereas before it was, okay, I'll take them all, and I actually did that. One of the very first times I was looking for Al Pacino movies, I just said I'll buy them all. And I remember, yeah, I dropped like at least damn near close to $150 in DVDs on Al Pacino flicks. And I remember I walked home and I just was like, that's what I did back in the day. Because I mean, the only thing I had to worry about, I had a sweet deal back then. I was in my early 20s. I was sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with my best friend and her boyfriend. And, you know, as far as utilities go, the only thing that we had to worry about was fucking cable, phone, and internet. That was it. And so we always stayed having money on us, and it was like, okay, well, you know what? You know, we would blow it like whatever, you know, we would take care of our business, but we had a lot of extra left over. So we would like do whatever and still have money put to the side. So for me, that was my guilty pleasure back in the day. I collected DVDs and I was big into my music. So Circuit City I would use for my DVDs. And then typically whatever Al Pacino movie Circuit City did not have in stock.
You went to Suncoast.
No, actually. I had built up such a really good cachet at that particular Target that they would do two things for me. They would either get in contact with the next nearby Target store, have it come to their joint, and I would just pick it up from there, buy it, pick it up from there, or I would then go to Best Buy and it would be rinse, repeat, right? But I would do Best Buy and Circuit City for my movies, strictly for my movies. Mm-hmm. And I would do Tower Records, Sam Goody, and I would do FYE. See, here's the thing. The main thing I didn't like about FYE was the fact that you would walk into that bitch and, you know, I was like fucking Christian Bale's character in American Story. I expected my music section to be fucking immaculate. I expected my shit to be correctly, alphabetically categorized. I expected for my shit to, okay, if you've got 5 copies, if you've got
you expected to be Giancarlo with
yeah, Gus. I expected, you know, if you had 10 copies of Alice in Chains Dirt from 1992, I expected all them sons of bitches to be grouped together and not just 3 Alice in Chains Dirts and then ABBA, you know, AC/DC, and then I go to Billy Idol and then, okay, there's the rest of the Alice in Chains albums. No. Group them all fucking together. Make this shit fucking organized, right? So that's what I expected when I went into my music stores, okay? And FYE, I could not fucking stand. They would be the last on the bottom of my list because they were always fucking disorganized. Right down to the point, I'd fucking go to the fucking help desk. Yeah, hey, I'm looking for the new, and this actually had happened to me once. Hey, I'm looking for the new Danzig Lost Tracks album. Danzig. And I'm looking at them, and obviously they're trying to figure out what the fuck is a Danzig. I'm going, yeah, he's hard metal. You know, he's rock. Oh, okay. I'm like, and they're going into, and then they're looking at me kind of cockeyed, like, what's a black dude doing listening to metal / like, fuck is it to you? I just told you what the fuck I need. The only thing you should be concerned about is getting my shit and taking my money, right? It shouldn't be that fucking hard. So they're getting on their little fucking back computer. Oh yeah, it says here that yeah, we got it in stock, right? Okay, yeah, it should be over in the D section. Yeah, well, I just came from the D section and it's not in the D section.
I think I was with you.
No, not for that one.
Oh, not for that one?
Not for that particular album. I remember when I bought that album. No, I bought that album that Lost Tracks of Danzig. I bought that in Springfield, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I bought that. Now, right, and so, it's in the D section. Yeah, well, I just came from your D section. It's not over there. Yeah, but it's in D. This is an actual conversation. But it's in D. Like, yeah, but it's not over there. Well, let's go check. I'm thinking, nigga, I just told you. Like, so, 5 minutes later, yeah, it's not here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see where else it could be here. Is it possible it's maybe in new releases? It could be. Still not able to find it. Then it turns out some motherfucker was lazy and forgot to put out Danzig on the rack. Right?
So what? It was just in the back.
It was in the back. So I would deal with shit where either this was a typical FYE. Either they didn't put the shit out when it was supposed to be put out, or they put it in the wrong fucking section. Right? And that used to annoy the fucking hell out of me. And then the real kicker that would get to me, after all this bullshit that I would fucking go through. And another thing I didn't like about FYE, most of the fucking people at FYE, they didn't know jack shit about the fucking music. They didn't know jack fucking shit.
True.
Every fucking time I come in there and, that's the thing. At least when I went to Tower Records or I went to Sam Goody, oh my God, motherfuckers were like chatting me up a fucking storm. I remember one time I walked into a Tower Records, and this was right when Daryl Hall and John Oates had released their last studio album of new material titled Do It For Love. It was their Do It For Love album. Great fucking album. If you're a Hall and Oates fan and you never got around to checking out that album, check it out. But I remember I went to Tower Records, and I remember one of the guys that had worked at the store. There was a couple of people, but the one I had gravitated to the most was this older black guy. He probably was in his mid-50s. Man, you wanted to talk jazz, rock, rap. This dude, man, he had his finger. He's the one you wanted. You had to go to him. I think Cliff was his name. I'd be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, hey, nice deep voice. Hey, how you doing, man? Like, yeah, pretty good. Hey, what can you tell me about the new Daryl Hall, John Oates album? It's actually pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it's been selling pretty good. We've pretty much been playing the whole album. It's the other thing I liked about Tower Records. Whatever new releases were out, if it was an album, oh man, they were so cool. Tower Records, depending on how it was at your particular Tower Record store, you would have a Tower Record staff that would be like, okay, well, this is Chuck's pick of the week. This is Sally's album pick of the week, right? Yes. And they would have those albums actually playing in the fucking PA. And Cliff was like, oh yeah, we've had the album playing mostly all week in our store, and people been buying it up. It's actually pretty good. You should check it out. I'm like, okay, bet. Checked it out. Come back like a day or two later. Yo, Cliff. Hey, what's up, man? How'd you like that album? It was actually pretty good. Yeah, you dug it? Yeah, I actually dug it. Good. Told you. Like, yep, you told me. What you need help with? Man, I would go to Tower Records. Now, to the point earlier. So I would drop like $150 in the bucket for my movies, right? So when it came to my music back in the day, shit, I would drop like anywhere from $75 to $100 easily every other paycheck. I would drop that easily for my fucking music.
Yeah.
And I mean, the people at fucking Tower Records, oh my God. I fucking love Tower Records because it was like a fucking gold mine. I could go there, I could talk music with those guys for hours, right? While helping them make money at the same time, right? I was the type of guy, soon as they saw me, they already knew I gotta sell. Right? Like, I gotta fucking sell. And then at times they'd be like, hey, look, we got this album that's getting ready to come out. You maybe want to pre-order. Back then, believe it or not, people, you used to be able to pre-order albums a month or 2 or 3 before they were dropped physically at Tower Records, FYE, and all them other joints, before it became what it is now, where you can pretty much do it in iTunes and Amazon and you know and all that other shit. And so the only time I would go to FYE was if, okay, I struck out sadly at Tower. They didn't have what I was looking for, right? Then it would be like, okay, well, let me go to Sam Goody. And Sam Goody was not as disorganized, but Sam Goody had people. It was hit or miss. I remember one year. You remember when Sam Goody used to be at Union Station?
No.
There used to be a Sam Goody at Union Station up in what's that, Northeast? That'd be Northeast DC, wouldn't it? Union Station. Yeah, I think that's around Northeast DC, almost Northwest, but really it's Northeast DC. So I remember one time I went in there. This is a true fucking story. You can't make this shit up. I walk into that motherfucker, and I go, "Hey, I'm looking for Dave Matthews Band. I think it's the Remember Two Things album." And there was like some black people that was behind the counter. So they looked at me like, the fuck is this nigga talking about? Like, who? You know, and the way they're looking at me, I kind of feel embarrassed because it's like, you know, here I am, a black guy. I'm asking about a white artist, right? And around this time, here's the fucked up part. Around this time, the Jay-Z's, the Little Kims, but here's the thing. I already had their shit, right?
Right.
So I'm just expanding. I'm all over the place. So I'm like, you know, now I'm, you know, first it was, hey, I'm looking for the new Dave Matthews Band, Remember Two Things album, I think it's called. And they're looking at me kind of like, "What you say, nigga?" I mean, it's kind of like, now I don't have the confidence in my voice anymore. Now it's kind of, looking for the Dave Matthews Band section or newest album. And they're like, never heard of that. And I'm like, you know, finally I'm kind of like, they're a pretty popular kind of jazz band, slightly country. Oh, okay, well, country music is going to be, and I'm thinking to myself, but Dave Matthews Band isn't country.
Yeah.
You know, they're like jazz kind of contemporary kind of rock, right? And I just remembered how those motherfuckers did not want to help me. So I was all alone at Sam Goody, just endlessly scrolling through the entire fucking store looking for it, and I never found it. And I just remember that horrible feeling, and I just said, fuck Sam Goody. Obviously, when it comes, because, and I hate to say this, but most people know this is true. You know, most of the people that were at Sam Goody, you know, were people that were not musically universally inclined.
True.
And depending on the neighborhood that those Sam Goodies were in, you know, heaven forbid if it was a situation where it was kind of close to an area where a little bit borderline on the side of, okay, I can see definitely in this area, mostly blacks are going to be working here. Oh, man, then you could forget about it. Unless your ass was going to be coming in there, you know, yo, man, I'm looking for the new Foxy Brown, DMX, you know, yeah, oh, yeah, that joint over there, dog. Yeah, man, hey, you ain't heard it yet, right? Oh, man, that shit, yeah, you know. I would see how they would do it. So it was kind of like, so I would only go to Sam Goody if Tower Records didn't fall through. And then FYE was my last ditch effort because FYE, let's not also forget, FYE had the most ridiculous prices.
Yes. The only time I went to FYE is if it was something I couldn't find anywhere else. And mainly because I didn't want to pay the prices. And secondly, I didn't want to have to search for what I was looking for. Because it could be there, it could not be there. And the more years that went by and the more we started going into iTunes and getting away from CDs, the less organized it was.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
It was like they just didn't give a fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, okay, well, fuck it, never mind. And then you just whatever. Now, I guess for me, there used to be, I don't remember what it was called now. I don't think it was the Sam Goody. I think it was like a one-off record shop. There used to be one where I used to live when I was growing up, and we used to go there a lot. But as I was getting older, we had a Waxy Maxi. I got a couple things there, but normally my go-to was Sam Goody. Mm-hmm. FYE if I couldn't find it.
Now, how was your experience at Sam Goody? Was it similar to mine, or yeah, better?
For the most part, but yes. As years progressed, I felt like customer service went down. Again, didn't really know what they were talking about. You come in there and you're like, okay, this is what I want, blah, blah, blah. And they kind of give you this look like, what? So, and the funny thing for me, it was kind of the opposite of what I was looking for. In reference to what you were looking for. Mm. So I would come in there looking for, R&B, Boys to Men, stuff like that. Where you would think with me it would be pop or country or something, right? And they were kind of looking at me like, okay. Yeah, all right. And majority of it was like, yeah, it's over there. So I got to the point where when I was searching that way, I'd go try to find it myself. And if I couldn't find it, whether I didn't think they had it, or if I just couldn't find it, depending on how bad I wanted it. If I wanted it pretty bad, I'd ask. If I didn't want it that bad, I could wait.
Right.
That's just how.
The other thing I had liked about Tower Records from back in the day, I had loved the fact that they would have artists that would actually come by and perform. Mm-hmm. That was also pretty cool. So before the Tower Records had shut down in Northwest DC and Georgetown, just off of 20th and Pennsylvania Avenue. Mm-hmm. Artists used to stay coming there to perform.
Yes.
And I used to be able to get a nice front row seat firsthand because I used to do security work at the building that Tower Records happened to be attached to. There was 2 wings of Tower Records over there. You had one wing that was just all about the music, nothing but about the music, 3 levels, and you had I think that might have been the West Wing, whereas the East Wing of Tower Records, it was nothing but all about movies. And so I used to love going to the East Wing for the movies because back in the day when I was a big collector of the wrestling DVDs, the WWE home videos and all that shit, before WWE had started doing the exclusive deals with FYE and what was it, Walmart, I think it was as well, or Best Buy, Tower Records, that was like, for me, easily, it would be like the go-to, and, it'd be easy for me to just take 10 minutes, chat it up with the staff. I knew exactly what I needed to get, boom, in, out, that's it. But when I was doing security work there, I got to see quite a few bands and acts perform firsthand because the West Wing of the store was pretty big. Who is that Christian hip-hop sister group?
Oh, Mary.
I saw them perform.
Oh, that was cool.
I saw the band, the rock band Live perform. Live,
Vaguely.
They had that song that was so fucking popular back in the day, Lightning Crashes. Lightning crashes and old mother dies. Oh, that lost feeling coming back again. like a rolling thunder chasing the wind. I can feel it through center of the eye again. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Everybody that I knew that was into rock remotely had that fucking album. I think that was from their Throwing Copper album or whatever. But they had performed. They had performed there. It was quite a. I would have to really think about it
So
a lot more. But there was quite a few acts I had
I
saw
don't
actually
remember
perform.
if I ever told you this story, but I guess it was about 93, 94. Is somewhere between 92 to 94. I was very, 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 very heavy into Tevin Campbell. Whenever the I'm Ready album came out, and
You know, Quincy Jones discovered him. Yeah.
and so I heard he was coming to Tower Records.
At that location?
I think so.
Because that's usually where everybody went.
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
What year was this? Because I would have been there. I would have been there from 2000 to 2002. Okay.
this was 90s.
Oh wow. Okay.
I can't remember. I would say somewhere between 93 to 95. But I'm leaning more towards 93, 94. So I'm pretty sure it was that one. And I was like, oh yeah, go see Tevin Campbell, blah 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 blah. So we get over there. The line is wrapped around the block twice. Can't get near it. Can't get even near the park near it. So we just didn't. I was so hurt because I really did want to see it, but we went down there, but it was just no parking. But yeah, I think it was like 93, 94.
So wait a minute. What happened?
Nothing.
You couldn't get in?
No.
Oh wow.
Couldn't get in. You couldn't park. You couldn't anything. Line was wrapped around the Tower Records at least once. And it was like, oh, okay, well. The other place that I really liked, and you went there too. It was right near Tenleytown. And it was right across the street next to that Chinese food restaurant.
Oh yeah.
It used to be a mattress place.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're
Or
talking about.
maybe it was a mattress place after they did it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I can't remember, but man, they had a CD section that was out of the world.
Remember the Best Buy that was over there? That
Yeah, it's
ultimately was
still
over. Oh, it's still there. Oh, okay, so for
Where
those,
Sears was?
it was right across the street. As soon as you would come up from the Tenleytown escalator. So true story for those of you that know your Northwest DC area pretty good. Back in the day, I don't know if it was the late Tim White, but whoever was in charge of the wrestling talents going out to different meet and greets and all that for consecutive years, that Best Buy used to always get a WWE superstar.
Oh,
Yep, for the longest time.
interesting.
And it was interesting because every time a WWE star was, because if they weren't going to that Best Buy, then they were going to Crown Books at DuPont Circle for
Okay,
a signing. Yeah, because China, the late China, Joni Lauer, she had a signing there in the early 2000s. I sadly wasn't able to do it because I had to fucking work at the library of the college I was going to at the time, and I had told my best friend. It was funny because I told my best friend, I said, dude, are you going to Crown Books for that China thing? And he was like, yeah, I'm definitely going. And I was like, oh man, do me a favor. And I'm like, I no shame in my game because he was going to get his signed as well. I said, do me a favor, take my Playboy and have her sign it. And it was the Playboy with the red text, China was standing with her hands on her hip, black kind of leather spike studded looking outfit, white background. She had signed that, and
Do you still have that?
I still have it actually. I would have to dig it up. The cover got a little bit worn out here and there, but I actually still have that. I would just have to dig around and figure out where it is, but I still have it. And for him, she had signed a original piece of artwork that he had did of her. And
wow.
and I said to him, I said, pass along a message to her for me, let her know, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't meet her in person, but that, she's absolutely one of my favorites, and fuck whatever the haters are saying, especially about her appearance. Just keep fucking doing you, yo. And when I met up with him the next day, I was like, were you able to? He was like, yeah, she said thank you for the kind words, very sweet. And I'm like, awesome. Like, what did she think about your artwork? I was like, dude, she just stared at it for like several minutes. I kind of held up the line just a tiny little bit, but yeah, she looked at it for a few minutes in silence and was just in awe. And he's like, yeah, she was really fucking cool, man. Really, really down to earth. Like, all right, bet. Like, cool. Yeah, so like, yeah, whoever was in charge back in the day, like, they had him hitting up the right spots, but that Best Buy was definitely one that they would have him hit up. I used to hit up that music store too, though. That was at Tenleytown. I did hit that up a couple of times as well.
Actually, matter of fact, Michael Jackson's History, I got it there. But yeah, I used to hit that store, and then I used to hit the Hollywood Video that was right down the.
Wow, there's a name I haven't heard of in a minute. Hollywood Video. Wow. God damn. The last time I saw a Hollywood Video, and you'll know this. As soon as I tell you, you'll know exactly what the area I'm talking about. The fucking Hollywood Video up Marlboro Pike.
Marlboro Pike.
It was yep. It was like around probably maybe about the 8,000 block of Marlboro Pike, PG County.
Probably.
Wasn't that far from where I was living back in the day out there. Wasn't that far. It was like part of a little strip. Matter of fact, I think they had a giant food store that might have been around there.
That wasn't near Pennsylvania Avenue, was it?
Kind of on the way.
Oh, then I probably saw it.
It was kind of on the way. It was part of like a little small strip mall. Little small strip mall, and it was at the very end.
Actually, true story. Not too far from the house. They're actually where the urgent care is now. That used to be a Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video. That is, yeah.
That's what gave Blockbuster a run for their money.
Yeah. Fucking Hollywood Video. Jesus. I ain't thought about them in a good fucking minute. Hollywood fucking Video. Yeah, they were good, man. It was some good shit that we had back in the day, man. It's like, and now just everything is so digital.
Yeah.
That's why I get so excited once in a blue moon when I see a vinyl album, or I can, it's funny because the same passion that I have for vinyl these days, and it really just depends on the album these days, right? Very seldom will I go, oh, new album? Okay, vinyl. Very seldom I'll do that, right? But, man, you just think about back in the day when we were collecting the fuck out of the cassettes.
Oh, the actual cassettes,
the actual cassettes. Jesus Christ. The cassettes, man.
Can you... So I can't tell you how many times, maybe once, twice, 3 times every 6 months, I see the pictures. Like, can you tell me what one means to the other? And I have a picture of a pencil and a picture of the cassette tape.
Oh, yeah, we know that one very well. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. It beats putting your finger in there.
I've done that before.
Oh, that finger. That was just the long,
I used to always use my pinky.
Now, see, I was a dumbass because I would always use the first index finger. So no wonder it was...
No wonder. Shh. Shoo.
Before I
Couple
started
of
switching
degrees
it
to
up.
the right.
Yeah.
A couple of degrees to the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot. No, actually, even with my pinky, I was like, you know what? Hell with this shit. Let me go find a pencil or a pen. And oh, great. Okay, great.
I used to love it when, and I'm saying this sarcastically, of course, but I used to love it when the tape would pretty much, the cassette tape would pretty much explode within, and as a result, like the little finger or the pencil trick wasn't gonna work, so you literally had to go fucking MacGyver and take a fucking screwdriver, and you had to open up that fucking cassette, and then you had to meticulously, okay, because the fucking tape, it was just all over the place, so you're trying to delicately, reorganize it and everything. I don't know if it ever happened to you, but I would have to do that
Once or twice.
quite a few times, and then
Once or twice, yes.
screw the bitch back
Well,
in there.
I never unscrewed the tape.
I unscrewed my tapes more than once, because it would just the tape on the inside, somehow it would like just fucking explode all within and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I felt pretty accomplished when I was able.
You got it to work.
When I got it to work, it was like, yeah, haha, fucking take that, And then I also used to like, I don't know if you ever used to do it, but I used to like making custom tapes. So like,
oh yeah, all the time.
I used to love listening to. Mainly back in the day, I used to love listening to DC 101, but I would switch it up and I would also listen to WPGC 95.5 FM.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I was hearing like some really good ass fucking, music, I would just be like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to hit the fucking, record button at the right time. Right. I mean, the very best.
And try to hit it at the right time.
Well, see, that's what I was about to say. The very best radio listeners, such as myself and my mom, we had those commercials down. We knew how many commercials they were taking. We knew the length of the breaks. We knew how to listen, particularly for the buffers. You're listening to the WPGC 95.5. You're like, oh, here we go. It's about to go down. And then you hit the record button. And then you let that shit fucking, do its thing, and you just record all the fucking, used to be fucking nice. And then sometimes, either me or my mom, like once one song would finish, because we would know, okay, we got about maybe 15 minutes before we hear another buffer joint, and then maybe they'll go into the next, 3 tracks. So we got to be on standby. We got to be ready to hit the pause button so that, okay, next group of commercials, okay, let that go. And then, okay, we get a buffer. All right, we're back to the music and resume. We would do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it anymore, as far as I know, but I used to love listening to DC 101 because on Sundays, particularly, DC 101, HFS as well, they would do their own versions of 7 CD sides at 7. So, like, typically on, like, a Sunday, around 7 o'clock at night, like, at fucking, 7 o'clock at night, they would play from, like, 7 until maybe 11 o'clock at night. They would go through, like, 7 CDs of some artists, and they would play those fucking albums in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
And you would get your little, DC 101, little buffer joint and all that, but typically, I used to remember who some of the guys were back in the day, but you wouldn't hear the DJs until the fucking album was over, and they would give you a recap of all the songs you had heard. I used to love that because I would have a fucking cassette. It was like, okay, I don't need to go to the store now and get, because I just got the damn thing just now on this fucking. I was able to get a hold of a Metallica. Let me think. I was able to get Metallica's Load album that way back in the day. I was able to get Aerosmith's, I'm trying to think which album. whatever the Aerosmith album where they had that song Taste of India, gotta know sweet taste of India lingers on tip of my tongue. Whatever album that was, I had got that on a cassette. There was a whole bunch of, sometimes they would do live stuff as well, but they were notorious for doing the studio shit. And then they kind of realized the hard way two things, because that went on for some years, but they kind of learned the hard way that, number one, they were losing a lot of revenue
because of piracy.
Right. But not just that, but they were losing a lot of ad revenue because they're playing a whole fucking album in its entirety, and they're not taking any ad breaks.
Yeah.
You know, and HFS, they pretty much would do the same fucking thing as well. And it was cool because it would be nice to go to school, you know, whatnot, the next day. And, you know, people are talking about, you know, different albums. And then, you know, here I come saying, oh, yeah, I got the Metallica Load album. And people are like, oh, you actually have bought it? Like, no, I was listening to DC 101 and I got the whole album, you know. They're like, oh, let me listen to that joint. I'm like, okay, well, what you gonna let me listen to? It's like, well, what do you want? Like, shit, I'm trying to hear some new Outkast. What's up? It's like, okay, all right. So that would be my cool part, you know, because back in the day, I used to be notorious for being the tape trading guy when it comes to CDs and shit. So like, you know, people say, hey, did you got any? Blah, 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 and like, yeah, I got that. Like, okay, bet. So we trade, listen, all that. That was cool. I used to love doing that. It used to be the best part. Trading fucking music and all that shit. I remember the first time I had ever found out about the CD player. I still remember as if it was yesterday. I was in my junior year in high school, and I had heard the rumblings about a CD player, but I had never physically seen one with my own two eyes. And this is like, at this point, this is like, I think 1998. I think it's like 1998, maybe 99. And I say to one of my friends, I go, so I don't get it. You know, what's the big hubbub? What's all this chatter about these fucking CD players, my man? And my friend was like, oh, well, I like the cassette player, you know, this, that, you know, you can skip. You don't have to do the pencil thing, you know, or your finger. Like, oh, okay, cool. So if you want to, you know, rewind, you just press of a button. Yeah, dude, it's as easy as that. You can just press of a button and you can, you know, go back and listen to the previous track. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And my friend was like, here, try it out. And so, you know, my very first experience with a CD player and first album that I can recall that I was listening to on CD, I was listening to Korn, Follow the Leader. And I just remember going, wow, the sound, it sounds more crisp. I can hear the instruments individually a little bit better. And I'm like, okay, so like walk me through this. And I got him over my shoulder, you know, and he's basically saying to me, you know, this is what you hit, you know, that there's your play, there's your pause. And like, I'm rewinding. But remember, those early older models back in the day, there was one flaw with them. You remember what that flaw was?
No.
The one flaw with those original CD players back in the day was that it would, over time, scratch your CD. The very first early models, especially if you had dropped that CD player. Oh, yeah.
Or a lot of movement. Yes. Because if you were doing a lot of movement, it would actually skip around songs or within the song. Yes, because I remember doing a lot of that. Because I would get off the bus and I'd have my little big ass CD player on my side hip, you know, because that was the newest, latest thing at that time.
Yep.
And then I start running for the bus or running for this, and then bloop, and I'm like, oh crap.
Right. Nothing was more, oh, fudge. Then, you open up the CD player, and you're like, please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay. No, it ain't okay. And, fucking fucking scratch. That one particular song you used to love hearing, the trademark skip. You would hear that right on fucking cue. You can try buffering it. You can try wiping it, and it wasn't going nowhere. No. No, we've come a long fucking way. That's my whole point. We've come a long fucking way from...
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. So I don't ever want to hear nobody complain about, what's going on with the music today as far as,
accessibility.
Yeah, I ain't trying to hear that because it's like, God, you guys have no idea how good you got it right now. Cause,
yeah. You actually can go in between whole artists, whole albums. Hey, just tell Google to play a song for you, if you have Spotify or whatever.
Right.
And it fucking does it.
It fucking does it. As long as you got that subscription, it's like you're literally trying before you go buy the actual album.
It's like, no, seriously, it's like having fucking Columbia House at your access of your fingertips.
Yeah.
Or BMG Music.
I used to stay don't even get me started. I used to stay fucking with BMG and
yes.
True story. All right. I got to at least share this before we wrap up. I can't tell you how many times. I can't believe I'm admitting this publicly. I know there's motherfuckers that did this shit. I can't tell you how many times I used to take advantage of 10 CDs for just $2 from BMG or whoever the other motherfuckers were. And I give them a fake name. And this was like before they started asking for credit card information and all that other shit. And man, I'd get them fucking CDs, and man, it was on. I ain't fucking to this day, man. I must have hit them motherfuckers up. Grand total, I probably got at least about 50 albums off those motherfuckers. using fake names. Using fake names.
Paid them like $12.
Oh shit! She more like ain't paid them shit.
Okay.
Man, more like ain't paid them shit. Nope. Now I know some of them they would do like hey you give us $5 and we'll give you 10. Some of that I would do, but remember they had some of them where like you could just do like a free trial thing or something. Whatever trials they had going on or just steal deal offers, I would take advantage of them damn bitches. I write out all kinds of fake names and shit, and man, I fucking...
Did you use the same addresses too?
So back in the day, I noticed you could do it like up to 3 times, but then they started getting a little bit smarter. So then it was like, okay, so now you just got to use one address. It's like you got to make it count. But I used to love getting that fucking...
Me too.
That catalog in the joint. Okay, what's the free albums that you want? And you're looking at that bitch like it's a fucking menu and shit. Like a food menu. And you're like, okay.
And cutting out the little coupons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I used to love that shit. I stay ripping off BMG, man.
And then when that lovely time when the whole package came.
Yes.
It's like Christmas.
Yes. Eyes fucking light up. You're like, it's here. Because it would take a minute for it to come. It would take like about not a month, but it was damn near close to it. Mm-hmm. It took some weeks. It wasn't no 2-week deal. Mm-hmm. It took damn near close to a month before you would see that joint. But once it came, it's like, okay, all right, I'm satisfied. Yeah. Right? Oh, I used to love that. I used to fucking love that. Are they still doing well, I'm very curious if they're still at it. Or I wouldn't be surprised to hear if they were bankrupt, because first thing I would say, well, duh. The way they had it set up and the motherfuckers that were just able to, especially because here's the thing. It's not like they could attach that to your credit report. Right? They couldn't.
They could annoy the hell out of
They
you.
could annoy the hell out of you, sending you flyers and you know, hey, you need to pay, you know, whatever. Fuck. But like, it's like, pay you when I feel like it. You better suck my dick. You know, it's like, oh shit, good shit right there. Let's see, anything else? I think that might be it. Real quick, because I know we gave you guys an update on our other furry daughter, Maggie. She's doing good now. Her eye, because I know some of the listeners, they were like, when I showed them the picture, they were like, why is she wearing the cone of shame? What's going on there? And so good news for her. Her eye is in the clear. She doesn't need any surgery. She's fine. We don't have to give her any more medicine. The eye has done a fantastic job healing up itself. There's going to be just a little tiny bit of scar tissue that will go away over time, but for the most part, she's in the clear. So you got that. And then I don't think we told you guys this, but we're doing a pizza challenge. And it's real quick. So we put this, I somehow we came across this pizza wager. And Tams pretty much had started it, and I believe, and I don't quite remember the details now, but long story short, we both love pizza, all right? So somehow the idea is presented of, well, can't even last 3 months, I bet you, without eating pizza. And then it's, okay, you want to talk about 3 months? I know I said that. I'm like, you want to talk about 3 months? Let's make it more interesting. Let's go 6 months without pizza. Pizza in the Sanders household, it's like a fucking gospel ritual, okay? It's like there's not a month that goes by that some form of pizza typically comes in this house. Well, no more for the next 6 months. And so far we are creeping up on, I believe, 3 weeks almost 3 weeks since we made the bet. And it was kind of funny because at one point, what came through the house, I decided to buy Totino's pizza rolls, not realizing that technically this is pizza. This is a form of pizza. And it was funny because we had to get our best friend to be the arbitrator for us and essentially say yay or nay, was Totino's pizza. And at first she's like, technically it's not pizza. And I'm going, fuck yeah. But then she's going, but at the same time, you know,
it says pizza rolls.
It says pizza rolls. And so she makes it very clear cut going forward. She goes, okay, yeah, I'm going to say technically that's pizza. But here's the thing. Anything that involves the word pizza in it, stay away from it. It's like, okay, all right, fair enough. So we've got 4 boxes of Totino's pizza rolls in the freezer. Hopefully it will have a home with somebody very soon. I don't know. You know, some of you guys may say, oh, we'll just, you know, go get a refund. We already trashed the receipt. So we're stuck with these pizza rolls. I'm assuming they'll last 6 months. I don't know, right? But it's a fun challenge because I gotta admit, there's been a couple of times, especially this past week alone, I've looked at certain pizzas, and you know, cause I like sometimes I'll go on Grubhub or Instacart, and you know I'll need a quick item or two, you know, and it's like, hey, how about a slice of pizza, man? It's like, yeah, that's fuck. You know, I was at Wegmans the other day, and I'm just, you know, I say to the wifey, hey babe, just give me 5 minutes. I'll be done in 5 minutes. I'm in there real quick. I'm picking up a couple of sandwiches. I look at the pizza, and I felt like Martin on that episode where Gina had made all his mama's favorite fucking food, and he's just looking at the plate, just sniffing.
Salivating.
Yeah, and I see the pizza, and I just had that fucking moment where I'm just looking at it, and this is the most hardest withdrawal I have ever experienced with fucking pizza before, man. It's fucking ridiculous. So I implore you guys to do me an extra solid out there, and as you enjoy your slices of pizza from here on out, think about me and have a extra slice for me, and definitely have an extra slice for Tams. We greatly appreciate that. So we got $50 on the line, and obviously, and that $50 on the line, whoever slips has to cough up 50. And obviously, if nobody slips in those 6 months, then and we both get to hold on to our 50s there. So that's a little FYI for you guys. So that's a nice little fun little wager that we're doing. So we'll see what happens. So if you guys want to be dicks and you want to spam the timeline, or anytime you see me in the Discord or whatever, you want to just put a picture of a fucking slice of pizza and get me to say, fuck you, dude, go ahead, have at it, So, yeah, FYI. So on that note, we are done. There was one other thing I wanted to get into, but I honestly don't feel going that route. It was kind of political. I'm not touching that. All right, so Wednesday, August 17th, I'll be chatting it up with Julian. So look out for that conversation with Julian. Once I have all of that mixed down, processed, and all that, I'm going to try to see if I can get it out that same day. Otherwise, since I'm already going to be doing a show Wednesday night after Dynamite, then maybe I'll forward it to maybe releasing it this weekend or something. Well, we'll wait and see on that. But keep tabs on that. Be Kind Rewind. Check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads. Get at us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. You've been with me up to this point. Especially shout out to you guys that's been tuning in via YouTube. Maybe you'll be checking it out for on demand and on the downloads. Appreciate all the subs we've been getting past couple of weeks, by the way. Please make sure you smash that like. I saw, last I checked, we're up to 12,130 subs now. So definitely hit that and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Support the YouTube channel for more great content, all that good jazz. All right. Till next go round, she's the beautiful and the lovely Tammy. Lee Sanders here, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. And we'll see you next go round. Take care, y'all. Peace.